What up, ladies and gents? This is Jason, and I have a quick little pickup video I did off the bay. Did some surfing on the bay, and this is just really no rhyme or reason, but I wanted to pick up a couple things. First, I picked up Arturo Ruiz, and I might be mispronouncing his name, Refractor rookie card. He's popped up a few times on AEW. I think it's been like dark matches or maybe Elevation, but I've enjoyed his wrestling. He does like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or like some kind of like the Hoist Gracie type of like grappling, I believe. He was on WWE, as you can see, but he was released, I think, this past year, so he's popped up. He's from Brazil, so Tay Conte's from Brazil, Cesaro Benoni's from Brazil, who both are AEW talents now. So when they brought him over, he's only had a couple matches, but every match he's had has actually been really good. And I'm assuming he's just right now just kind of just working independence or, getting opportunities where he can. But if AEW signs him or has him come on a lot more as like a featured, wrestler talent, maybe even developmental talent. I mean, I think he's probably older. He looks older. I don't know how much more he can do, but man, he comes in the ring, no shoes on. He comes in like that shoot fighting kind of style. He has to tape all up, tape feet, tape hands. And, I mean, it's pretty cool. So, anyways, I liked his wrestling. I think he wrestled, I want to say Adam Cole maybe, or maybe one or two other guys that were, pretty big names. And I think he might have did a tag match with Cesaro Benoni. But anyways, I like this guy. I don't know much about him, but I was impressed when I saw him pop up. Next up is a couple 1980, I want to say 85, 87 stickers. And I got this all these I got for $1. So this is good. Next one up is a sticker, 85 stickers from the top set, I believe, from back in the day. So I'm just going to show you what I have. I thought it was a good deal for $1. On the back, it actually forms Hulk Hogan there. So the first up is Billy Jack Haynes. Billy Jack Haynes. So there you go. The first one up. Then you got Hercules with Bobby the Brain Heenan. Hercules, I've been watching a lot of late 80s, early 90s Saturday Night Main Event and just like specials on YouTube they've been showing. It's been awesome. And they had Hercules was on there a lot. I think he was also in a group called Power and Glory. He also popped up on, and then he stopped doing the Hercules gimmick as far as coming with the big chains and whipping it around, which I totally forgot he had done that. I remember as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh yes, he was doing that gimmick. But then I think I remember him more as the Power and Glory, I think he was with Tony Roma, I believe. I could be wrong who he partnered with, but anyways, I liked them, and they always had these like crazy sunglasses with like the 80s like spikes coming off the side, or like thin sunglasses with they were trying to be like cool. But anyways, that was cool there. Then Danny Davis, WWF referee who turned into a wrestler. Cool side story with this is Danny Davis opened up a school of wrestling in Louisville, where I'm from, or actually Southern Indiana. The Danny Davis School of Wrestling, which turned into, I believe, OVW. And then he had been a developmental for WWF/E or whatever for years, and I believe he sold it to Al Snow and his partners. I don't know how many years ago, but I remember going to high school with Danny Davis's daughter back in the 90s. I'm not going to say where or whatever, because maybe, that might be some personal information. But I remember, when they told me her dad was Danny Davis, the wrestler/referee, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So anyways, I don't know if we were in the same grade. I didn't know her really, but I just know that people would bring it up, and I ran into her from time to time in school. But anyways, that was a cool, side story. But I used to go some back then, and they used to have it at the Optimist. Now, where was in Jeffersonville, Indiana, he had his wrestling school. And it was, I can't remember the name of the big facility. It was like kind of like a run down and almost really abandoned like 1930s like factory that he converted into a wrestling school. Shoot, I can't remember what it was called. But anyways, that was where the matches were being held. So there's that. Then we got Mr. Fuji and Killer Khan. And of course, they played up the stereotypes from back in the 80s, and I guess sometimes in the 90s as well, 70s as well. Killer Khan has some matches with Andre the Giant. That's how I kind of remember him in the 70s and 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Because Killer Khan, again, was a real big guy. Andre the Giant to wrestle guys that are around his size or it's more realistic. Because, whenever Andre was wrestling anybody who was like mid 6 foot or lower, it was just like usually not even believable. So when they had a guy this size would show up, it was a pretty big deal. And so you have Killer Khan. I don't remember a whole lot about Killer Khan. Of course, Mr. Fuji, like he's rocking the Legion and Doom face paint here or whatnot. So there you have that. Then we have King Kong Bundy. He was obviously another big guy that Hulk Hogan would wrestle. Andre would wrestle the big guy, he was like a bowling ball. He was one of the few guys that moved pretty fast for a big guy back then. He was kind of like from that old school where, you'd just be like an immovable force. But he actually did some wrestling in the ring. It wasn't just a big guy just throwing people around and kind of doing stuff. So he was nowhere near as agile as Big Van Vader, but he was kind of like the prototype of Big Van Vader, in my opinion. He also did some crossover stuff. He did some TV shows. I think he was on like Boy Meets World and stuff. So he had some crossover appeal towards the end of his wrestling career, I believe. And we got Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I used to think it was called Nineheart. I didn't know it was Neidhart. When I was a kid, I couldn't distinct what they were saying. Of course, the Hart Foundation, him and Bret the Hitman Hart, they were, I believe, brother-in-laws. He married into the family. He married Bret's sister, if I'm not mistaken, and then Natalia is the daughter from that marriage and relationship. And I remember him always just laughing and stroking the red beard. He was always a little bit heavier, bigger built guy, and Bret was more the finesse wrestler. And I just always remember him laughing. That was like his thing. I mean, even this picture, it shows him laughing. But that was like one of his things. He just always was laughing and just kind of like talk crazy in the microphone when he was doing like a promo and just laugh and grab the beard and be like laughing and stroking the beard. And then lastly, I got this. I couldn't believe I got these for $1 for all three of these cards. These were WCW cards from, let's see what year, 1998, I believe. I don't think these are rookie cards or nothing like that, but they were, it's cool. 2 of the same card, I believe, the exact same card, and then one was different. Yeah, so 2 of the same card. You got Goldberg with the WCW heavyweight title, championship title, world heavyweight champion. So that was this card here, number card 68 with tops. I got 2 of those cards, and then lastly, this was a cool one too. Here with the WCW NWO card 51. Right there, Goldberg. Of course, the big thing here with Goldberg is that he had like this, like, he was building this like monster unstoppable force. He's one of the few non-NWO people, Wolfpack, NWO, Black and White, whatever, who never joined. If I'm mistaken, he never joined. He was like one of the few people who never kind of got jobbed out to NWO from my understanding, from what I remember. It was mostly just like he would just annihilate everybody he came in contact with. So they shockingly let him stay pretty much a monster the entire run when he popped up in WCW. And then he still kind of keeps that now with WWE. He switched over to WWE. I don't know when that switch happened and how long. I think he left for a while and then came back. And he's back now, kind of just mostly just showing up to get a paycheck. He did some stuff recently with Bobby Lashley and involving Goldberg's son. And, I don't know. I mean, like I said, he's like, I think he's late 50s now. He's still in great shape. I mean, way better shape than I could ever be in. But, he's, it's a little bit less it's harder to believe when you have a guy who's, pushing 60, just, murking everybody in the ring. It's just, you're kind of like, all right, let's be real here. But anyways, there you go. Just a couple dollars. So I'm holding a stack of like $3-4 here. So I thought it was pretty fun little stack of cards to pick up. So until next time, thank you for watching. Peace.